The dark side of Japan's porn industry. The Japanese adult video industry, often known as AV, employs a range of deeply concerning coercive tactics. These methods are designed to pressure individuals, primarily young women, into performing in adult content against their genuine will. It preys on vulnerability, exploiting individuals who may be facing financial difficulties or seeking new opportunities. It targets their hopes and desires, turning them into tools for manipulation. This exploitation is not accidental. It is a systemic issue rooted in specific recruitment and contractual practices. Understanding these methods is crucial to addressing the harm caused. One prevalent method involves street scouting, where recruiters approach young women in public spaces. Popular locations include busy districts like Shibuya and Harajuku, known for attracting young people. Scouts often use flattery, praising the women's appearance and suggesting they have potential for modeling or becoming a star. They present enticing offers of fame and fortune. Recruiters can be persistent, continuing to pressure women even after initial refusals. This persistence wears down resistance and creates a sense of obligation or opportunity. The goal is to lure these women into talent agencies under the guise of legitimate entertainment work. Once inside the agency, the environment shifts dramatically. Women often find themselves surrounded by multiple male agency representatives. This creates an intimidating atmosphere designed to overwhelm and isolate. The intense pressure from several individuals makes it incredibly difficult for a woman to maintain her refusal. She may feel trapped and unable to assert her boundaries effectively. Under this duress, women often sign contracts primarily to escape the high-pressure situation. The immediate desire to leave overrides careful consideration of the terms. These contracts frequently lack transparency regarding the true nature of the work involved. The adult content aspect is often downplayed or completely omitted during the initial stages. After signing, women discover they are trapped by the contract's terms. They realize the work is not what was initially described or agreed upon. If they attempt to leave or cancel the contract, they face threats from the agency or producers. These threats can be verbal or imply severe consequences. In some horrifying cases, women who try to exit the contract face the threat of being filmed during an assault. This is a brutal tactic used to ensure compliance. Footage from such filmed assaults can then be used for further coercion. It becomes leverage to force the victim into participating in more videos against her will. Another significant method of recruitment involves deceptive online advertisements. This approach often targets college students or young women seeking flexible part-time employment. Online ads are crafted to appear innocuous, listing jobs like parts modeling or product testing. They deliberately avoid any mention of adult content or sexual performance. These advertisements are placed on legitimate job boards or social media platforms. They blend in with genuine opportunities, making them seem trustworthy. The pornographic nature of the work is only revealed much later in the recruitment process. This happens after the individual has invested time and effort, making it harder to back out. Once the true nature of the job is disclosed, significant pressure is applied to comply. Recruiters emphasize that the individual has already committed or is expected to proceed. A key incentive used is the promise of significantly higher pay compared to typical part-time jobs. This financial lure exploits potential economic vulnerability. Many women reluctantly agree to participate due to the combined pressure and the attractive financial offer. They feel they have few other options at that point. This deceptive online recruitment bypasses the initial face-to-face scouting, but leads to the same outcome: individuals pressured into performing adult content under false pretenses. Beyond direct pressure, producers and agencies employ psychological manipulation. This includes using guilt trips or making false promises of fame and success. Contracts themselves are often deliberately vague and complex. This lack of clarity makes it difficult for individuals to understand their obligations or rights. Verbal threats of penalties or fines for breach of contract are common. These threats are delivered verbally to avoid leaving a paper trail or recorded evidence. There is a significant lack of transparency regarding the risks involved in the work. The long-term consequences of appearing in adult videos are rarely explained. Individuals are not adequately informed about the potential for videos to circulate widely and permanently online. They are left unprepared for the future impact. The consequences for victims of this coercion are devastating and long-lasting. They live in constant fear that their videos will resurface online unexpectedly. This fear leads to severe social stigma and harassment in their daily lives. They may face online abuse or be recognized and shamed publicly. The exposure can risk their current employment or lead to denial of future job opportunities. Many professions are unwilling to hire individuals with a history in adult videos. Their involvement often causes the breakdown of crucial relationships. Family members, partners, and friends may distance themselves due to societal judgment or personal conflict. During filming, many victims experience dissociation as a coping mechanism. They mentally detach from their bodies and the traumatic situation. This dissociation is tragically misinterpreted by producers and others as consent or skilled acting. It is seen as a sign of willingness rather than distress. Victims often face significant difficulty seeking help from authorities. Reporting the coercion can be a complex and intimidating process. Disturbingly, some police officers have been reported to dismiss victims' concerns. They may not take the allegations seriously or understand the dynamics of coercion in the industry. Victims who bravely speak out publicly often face online dismissal and accusations. They are accused of lying or seeking attention, further invalidating their trauma. The experience leaves victims with lifelong trauma, including severe post-traumatic stress disorder. The psychological scars are profound and enduring. In the most tragic cases, the trauma and lack of support can lead to a risk of suicide. The despair and isolation become overwhelming. Victims express deep regret about their involvement later in life. They feel shame and sorrow over the circumstances that led them to participate. They face immense barriers when attempting to rebuild their lives. The stigma, trauma, and lack of resources make moving forward incredibly challenging. Societal attitudes in Japan have often contributed to the problem by dismissing victims' experiences. There can be a tendency to blame the victim or view the industry as a legitimate form of entertainment without acknowledging the coercion. A cultural emphasis on avoiding conflict and maintaining harmony can make it difficult for individuals to refuse requests or assert their rights forcefully. This cultural context is exploited by recruiters. Exposure by human rights groups and media attention led to increased scrutiny and some arrests around 2016. This pressure highlighted the systemic nature of the abuse. In response to public outcry and legal action, the industry formed an ethics organization in 2017. This was presented as a move towards self-regulation and reform. Reforms introduced included the implementation of standardized contracts and mandatory disclosure of work details. The aim was to increase transparency for performers. Recruitment processes were mandated to be recorded to provide evidence of consent or coercion. This was intended to protect individuals from pressure tactics. A system was also introduced allowing actresses to request the halt of sales for older videos. This aimed to give performers some control over their past work. However, significant challenges remain despite these reforms. The changes have not eradicated the problem of coercion and exploitation. Not all companies within the vast and fragmented industry comply with the new regulations. Rogue agencies and producers continue to operate outside the rules. Illegal content produced through coercion continues to circulate widely online. This content is difficult to track and remove once it is uploaded. The ease of global digital distribution complicates efforts to control the spread of non-consensual or coerced content. Videos can appear anywhere in the world instantly. There is a persistent lack of effective oversight for illegal content online. Platforms struggle or fail to adequately police and remove exploitative material. Victims continue to face harassment and trauma from the ongoing circulation of their videos. The reforms have not fully protected them from this harm. There is an urgent need for broader public awareness about the issue and stricter enforcement of existing laws and regulations. The current measures are insufficient. Crucially, there is an urgent need for comprehensive support systems for victims. This includes psychological counseling, legal aid, and assistance in rebuilding their lives away from the industry's shadow. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more interviews and exciting content.